Hello artist friends, let's color. In this lesson, we are working on Albrecht Dürer's Rhinoceros. I moved the poster out of the way because we're going to get a little bit messy on this next part of printmaking, and I want you to be able to see everything well. First of all, I have a piece of scratch paper, which can just be any piece of manila paper or any of your colored paper that you have. You just want to have a paper down on the bottom because we are going to be inking. We're going to be taking our brayer and inking our entire surface of our styrofoam so that we can make our print. You're also going to need a white piece of paper, and this is what we are going to make our print on. And then I'm going to have one extra piece of paper, so just another piece of colored paper or white paper that you have around the house, to put over it while we rub it so that it doesn't get out in the way. So a scratch piece of paper beneath your styrofoam, a white piece of paper to print on, and one more piece of paper that you'll see what to do with in a moment. Okay, so I've got my paper plate and I have my beautiful ink. So what you're going to do is just put about a teaspoon out, kind of the size of maybe a quarter on your paper plate, and then you're going to take your brayer and you are just going to come back and forth. Now you're going to kind of see some lines, and then listen for this. Listen. Okay, can you hear it make that noise? That little crackling noise? That's when you know it's ready. So it's making kind of that tacky noise, and can you see all those lines in the ink? Okay, then we know our brayer's ready. And then all you need to do is go over your print, and you want to go off the edges. That's why we have our scratch paper. And you want to maybe pick up a little bit more ink because we want it to be very even. And it's supposed to be making that awesome noise. Okay, just going to make sure I've gone off all the edges. Okay, now I'm just going to set my brayer right here. Now very carefully, I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to place my white paper down. And then I'm going to lift my foam by the edges, put that paper out of the way, so you can see how I can kind of hold it on the edge. And then I want to, as carefully as I can, and you might see my head just for a second here. Okay, actually I want to kind of hold it on this edge. I want to make sure that I put it right in the middle if I can. Now, once you put it down, just set it down and then just kind of press it in a little bit. Okay, and see how there's a little bit of this extra ink? This is why we want to use another piece of paper so that when we roll it, it doesn't get on the edges of our printed paper. So I'm just going to take my scratch paper. Okay, now at this point, you want to take your brayer over to the sink and just rinse it off with water and a paper towel, and it'll come right off and you can kind of just wash your hands. I have a second brayer just so that I can keep on showing you, but if I only had one, I would do the same thing. I would just wash it and come back. Okay, so now we are going to take our brayer, and I want you to press as hard as you can, and I want you to roll and feel with your finger where the edge is so that you can press really hard all the way around your print. This is what's going to transfer the red ink onto your white paper as we press the styrofoam. Any part that was red, so not all of our indentations with our pencil, but any part that was red is going to press. Okay, so just go this way for good measure, okay? All right. Now we've pressed it as good as we can, so we're just going to remove that scratch paper. We don't need it. Okay, are you ready for the reveal? This is the best part. So just take your paper and kind of bend it, and then take your styrofoam, the corner here in your thumb, and just gently pull up and all the way across, and then you can place your print right there, and ta-da! We have a print of Albrecht Dürer's Rhinoceros. Now, isn't this cool? Did you notice something? Did you notice how it changed. So we have the mirror image. This is why a lot of my artist friends say, oh, can we write our name in the foam? And I didn't tell you this before, but if you do, it would be backwards. Also, when artists make prints, there's occasion they'll make a plate, which is what we did. This is called the plate. And then maybe they'll make a number of prints, like say 50 prints or something. And then they'll sign their name down here in the corner and sign your name and like do 1 of 50 so that people know this is kind of a limited edition. So in order to make this just look as legit as possible, I want you to take your pencil and I want you to just sign your name and put the date, the year, and then it'll be completely an official print. Okay, now friends, I know you're gonna wanna try this again. And you can just take another piece of scratch paper, you can ink that back up again and print some for your family and your friends and your neighbors, because this is a really fun piece you're gonna wanna be able to share. And also, you have extra foam that you can do it again. And like I said, if you run out of your foam, you can always use a styrofoam plate or order more foam. And if you liked to do the transfer where you drew part of it first and then printed it, you can do that. But you can also take your foam and your pencil, a little tiny, you can take your foam and your pencil and you can draw right into your foam without even drawing before. If you'd like to just make some more designs, you can draw right into your foam without practicing ahead of time, and then you can print. So I hope you enjoyed Albrecht Dürer's Rhinoceros and learning about printmaking and also learning about texture as we made this really fun project. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.